Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today is one of those videos I wanted to make since I started this YouTube channel, and I'm so excited. I've been waiting so long because this is a time sensitive one. I've got to wait until the end of the academic year to be able to film this. But this video is how much money I spent in my first year at university, down to the penny. I have tracked every single thing I've spent. Not a single penny is missing out of these calculations, and I hope you enjoy. So first I'm going to talk about the student loans that you get in the UK, and you get two main loans. The first is the tuition fee loan, which is the first payment, which is £9,250 and pays for me to have access to the university course. This payment goes straight to the university. I see none of this money, but I will have to pay it back as part of my student loan repayments when I finish my degree. The second is a maintenance loan. Now, this maintenance loan is meant to cover things such as accommodation, food, transport, things like that whilst you're at university, so that you can afford to just focus on your studies and not worry about working as well. Now, this for me last year was £4,422, as it was the minimum. I did not get means tested, as I thought I would get the minimum even if I did get means tested, and now that I have done the second year loan, I realised that that is probably not the case, and I did get a couple hundred more next year, which you'll see when I do this exact same video next year. But this year I did get the minimum because I did not get means tested, so £4,422, which I'll put up on the screen. So these are the two main loans, and I will include my maintenance loan as part of my income when I'm talking about how I made income throughout the year. I will include the maintenance loan as part of my income when that comes into the end of the video. So if you stick around to the end, you can see what I had incoming that allowed me to spend this much money at university. But I know really you're all just here to find out how much I really spent. So the total that I spent in my first year at university is £10,235.42. That is a lot of money. I spent £10,000 my first year at university. 10,000! I did not expect to spend that much, but I'm going to break it down into the different aspects, so I hope you stick around to find out how this split. So my first aspect, my first group is accommodation. I lived in the University of Birmingham's second cheapest accommodation. I did do a university accommodation tour, so I'll link that in the cards up here. This accommodation was a shared bathroom, 6-bed accommodation with a shared kitchen and 2 toilets and 2 showers. It was a really nice accommodation, I loved it. And the total for this accommodation was £4,300.80 in first year. Included in my accommodation costs as well, so on top of that I've got to add on my first month of rent in my new student house and my student house deposit, which comes to a total of £708.33. So this is quite a big expense, and you will have to budget this in because you will have to pay the deposit and your first month of rent before your next student loan. So my student loan, the £4,422, covers my accommodation of £4,300 with a little bit of excess. Now that little bit of excess I did spend at some point. I didn't track exactly how I spent it, but it was probably just came out my savings at some point. The reason I was able to afford the £700 for the new house is because my prior summer to moving to university, I had a full-time job working 8 till 5 Monday to Friday, as well as a cafe job that I did work on the weekends. This allowed me to build up my savings, and that money went straight into the house and will be what I'm spending in the summer between my first year loan and my second year loan, because often the loan doesn't cover the whole summer. Now, the next big payment that's very important to think about is food. Now, food is just groceries in this aspect, so things that I bought from Sainsbury's, Aldi, Lidl, Tesco, things like that. And the total came out to £1,008.50. This works out to an average of about £25 a week because I was only at university 41 weeks this year. So £25 a week on average is actually a really good amount for food. So I'm going to try and stick to that next year because that worked really well this year, and I'm not going to try and mess it up by buying more expensive things or less expensive things. So that is how much I spent on groceries. Now, takeaway and eating out was a bit of a bigger chunk than I expected it to be, but this includes like dinner out with my friends, with my ex-boyfriend and things like that. We went out often and I wanted to enjoy my time at university, so takeaway and eating out I spent £761.38p. Transport is another big cost, so this was the trains home, the trains to placement, trains to city centre from University of Birmingham because we're not in the city centre, and my accommodation was on Pritchard's Park Village rather than the Vale, so the walk from the accommodation was another 20 minutes into the city centre, so we always just got the train from University train station. So this total for transport was £245.54p. So this was really cheap this year actually, and it's because I didn't go home very often, and when I did I only had to buy a single as they always drove me back to university, which is, I'm very, very grateful that my parents could do that because that has been a really good help in keeping these costs down. A really big aspect of my spending, which you will see when I show you the pie chart of my total outgoings at the end of this segment, is shopping. So shopping includes anything that I bought from Lush, Primark, Zara, anything that wasn't quite needed, something that was a little bit extra. Now Lush I do use for my body wash and things like that, but it is a bit more expensive than if I bought it from Sainsbury's, so I count this as shopping because it is extravagant expense. But I will talk about why I choose Lush over other brands in the supermarket in my How to Be a Sustainable Student video. So my total for shopping was £925.19p. Now this is not absolutely everything, so if you stick around there are some large expenses that I will be talking about, which do include some things from shopping, but I will explain why those aren't included. Now I have some other aspects, the life aspect of my budgeting. So life is anything like cinema tickets, mini golf, day trips out to the zoo, things like that. So life came to a total of £367.76. So this is like cinema tickets with my friends. So a lot of the time I would pay for like 6 of us to go to the cinema, and then my friends would send me the money back. So when we talk about my income, there is an other aspect of my income, which is friends and family sending me money to pay me back for things I bought as a group, because I tend to like to be in control of the group spending, because if I spend it and then people send me the money, we could make sure everyone's paid right, and it was just a lot easier. Control freak in me bringing that out, definitely. Subscriptions, so I subscribe to things like Netflix, my Minecraft realm, my Echo Dot, things like that, and the subscriptions for the whole year came out to £172.56p. So this is quite low really, and next year I have cancelled my Minecraft realm because I do not need it anymore. My Netflix payment has gone up because I'm sharing it with one friend now, so we split it. So I will be talking more about my subscriptions next year because I will go into detail about all the different ones I have in my Sustainable Student video. Go check that out when it comes out. And then my final payments that are the lowest definitely is the society kit. So things I bought for my society, such as like jumpers and things, came out to £146.55. So that is the main bulk of my spending. Now we're going to talk about some large expenses that are not necessarily included in that section, but I will put on here. So washing, something you don't think about at university. Washing is a very large expense and came out to a total of £229.10 for me this year. I spent £229.10 on washing, which is a lot of money. So we use Circuit Laundry at the University of Birmingham, not by choice, it comes with the accommodation obviously, but it is quite a large expense and you will have to budget it in. It comes to about £4.90 to £5 depending on your machines for a wash and a dry. Another big expense was I went on holiday to Athens during my reading week and I spent £441.30 for a week in Athens. This video is on my channel. I did vlog the experience, not very well looking back on it, but I did vlog the experience, so I'll link that in the cards here. A big expense that I will not be making in the near future at least was £110 on my stethoscope and case, because when you enter first year medicine you do have to buy a stethoscope. So not all courses will buy this, but some people will buy textbooks that will cost similar amounts. And my biggest expense of the whole year, aside from my accommodation and food, was my iPad. So I did start university with an iPad 7th generation, which I bought before my second year of college, and it wasn't doing it, it couldn't load the pages, everything that I was trying to make it do when I first started university, it couldn't handle. So I bought an iPad Pro M1, traded in my iPad 7th gen and bought the new iPad. The new iPad, I do not regret this at all. It was an amazing expense. It has been perfect. Like, it's amazing. It's my little baby at this point. So I do not regret that, but it will not be coming out of my account next year. I will not be spending £800 on an iPad, and if I do, I'll be very, very upset. So overall, that's how I split down. That's how the split occurs in my spending. I spent £10,000 in the first year at university. On the screen now, you can see a pie chart, which is the distribution of my total outgoings, the largest aspect being my accommodation and the second largest being food, and everything else is reasonably distributed. Okay, so if you only wanted to know how much I spent, that is how much I spent at university. I'm now going to do a little short bit about how I made income at university alongside my medicine degree, and this is through a variety of resources. So I did have a lot of different jobs at university. They did stay consistent throughout the whole year, so I was running about 3 jobs at once, and that has been very, very useful for me. So my first main job at university that I got before I started was a cleaning job at the Student Guild. So that job is about 3-hour shifts, 7 till 10 a.m, and sometimes you can do night shifts, 9 p.m. till 4 a.m. So this cleaning job made me a total of £1,883.39 this year, which is relatively low, but it is a part-time job, and I did often change shifts, so there'd be weeks where I wouldn't work at all, then there'd be weeks I'd have 5 shifts. This is a very flexible job. If I said I couldn't do the shift, I wouldn't have to do the shift. If I wanted extra shifts because I was struggling, they would give me extra shifts. Now my next income, this is actually my second largest income, is tutoring. So I started university with 1 private client earning me £18 a lesson, so it was about £18 a week. I then gained a second private client, which is also £18 a week. My first one then faded out and my second one remained. I then started using the website My Tutor. So I had signed up for My Tutor before university, but I had been thinking, oh, £18 a week with my private was enough. Now My Tutor is amazing. It has been brilliant. They have earned me in the past, so over the whole year tutoring, I earned £1,671. My private client is £600 of that, and I have only been using My Tutor for 4 months. So that is a lot of money to be earning from My Tutor. Now, my society that I'm with also pays me for attending certain events like weekends away and netball and things like that. So from my society, I earned a total of £456.10, which is not a lot when you think about it, but it is an amazing opportunity because it is £500 I wouldn't have had without that society. And it does include weekends away, such as my climbing that I went on in Snowdonia, which was amazing, and that paid me. I got paid to go climbing in Snowdonia. What more do you really want? So it is an amazing opportunity that I can get paid that way. An aspect of my income that I like to include is other, which is friends and family. So if I bought a group thing, they would send me money for it. I had an issue with some washing machines at the beginning of the year, and I spent £12 on washing, so my mum sent me £12 back for the washing because she was like, you don't want to be. I was very upset. I'd only been living there 2 weeks. But it's things like that, like friends and family and birthday gifts and things like that. So that total comes out to £661.66, which is a lot really, and I did not expect to do that much. It was about £100 a month, and it kind of just built up. And finally, the last aspect of my income this year was my tax return. So the summer job I had last year, when I started it, my tax code got upped and I got charged tax, which is fair enough. If I had done the job for longer, I probably would have earned enough to pay tax. But because my income is below £12,000 a year, I did get a tax return in April and January to a total of £350.80. So my total incoming for the year is £9,444.95. And if you're thinking about the total income I made just from work, not my student loan, the total is £5,022.95p. So here is a pie chart of my total incoming, the largest proportion being my maintenance loan, obviously, with second largest being cleaning and then tutoring. It has been a big help having these access to money, with my 0% being my new summer job, which will be included in next year's incoming salary. So I hope this video has been useful. It's a good representation of how I earned money at university as a medical student, because medicine is a full-time degree and I cannot keep a full-time job alongside that degree. So I was doing lots of part-time hours, about 6 to 9 hours of cleaning a week and about 5 to 6 hours of tutoring a week nearing the end of the year. So I hope me having jobs alongside my degree is representative of what it might be like if you're coming to study a degree and you only want to work part-time. Thank you for watching. If you want to see what else I do, like spending or how to apply to medical school or what it's like at university or any just days out, because I do vlog my university degree and things like that. So please subscribe, like and comment any questions. And if there's anything you've had a problem with during this video, just let me know in the comments and I will explain myself a little bit better. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.